What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and the Tennessee Titans made a massive trade today as they traded T'Vondre Sweat to the New York Jets in exchange for Jermaine Johnson. And although I like this trade, the timing of it is a bit surprising because T'Vondre Sweat is a young ascending player who's only 24 years old. He's one of the best run-stopping nose tackles in the NFL. And for months, there were rumors that the Titans could trade him because he wasn't a great culture fit. Now, I never believed that because he never had any off-the-field issues. He never got into any trouble, and I thought he was a great person and a great teammate. And so I never believed that the Titans could potentially trade him because he wasn't a great culture fit. I mean, y'all, he never caused any issues with his teammates or coaches, and I thought he represented the organization in a classy way. And so again, I never believed that for 1 second. I think there were a lot of teams out there that were hoping that the Titans would trade him because they realized, that he was a really solid young player whose best football was ahead of him. But I never thought the Titans would trade him for that reason. And then after the season, y'all, Mike Borgonzi even stated that those rumors were false, that they never had any intentions of trading T'Vondre Sweat, and that they value him as being a member of their organization for years to come because they felt like he was a player whose best football was ahead of him, and they thought he was going to continue to get better. And also, y'all, Big Jeff had a lot of confidence in T'Vondre Sweat because he said that he was really looking forward to working with him this offseason because he felt like that this was going to be the year that T'Vondre Sweat would establish himself as the best nose tackle in the NFL. And he thought that he and T'Vondre Sweat could become the best defensive tackle, nose tackle duo in the NFL. And so it really looked like, y'all, that he was going to be a part of our organization for years to come. But then when we hired Robert Saleh, things changed because, as we all know, Robert Saleh loves his defensive linemen to be very athletic, to be very quick. And we know that's not necessarily T'Vondre Sweat's game. But a couple of days ago, y'all, at the NFL Combine, Robert Saleh said he was really excited to work with T'Vondre Sweat because, he was a big man that did move pretty well for his size. And he was really eager to see what he could do in his scheme. But obviously, y'all, that was just a bunch of baloney, right? Because now 2 days later, the Titans have traded him to the New York Jets. And again, as I said to start the video, I like this trade, and I absolutely get why the Titans did that. I mean, T'Vondre Sweat, wasn't a great fit for Robert Saleh's defense, but I still thought that the Titans were going to give him the opportunity to show what he could do in Robert Saleh's defense. And that's why I'm so surprised that they were just this eager to get rid of him, y'all, in late February. I mean, if they want to get rid of him in, say, July or August, after we had training camp and after they saw, okay, yeah, he truly isn't a great fit in Robert Saleh's defense, that's fine. But I'm like, wow, to get rid of him and we hadn't even had, mini camp yet or OTAs, it's kind of surprising. But I absolutely love the player we got in return from him, y'all, because Jermaine Johnson has tremendous upside, and he's a guy that has had success in the NFL. When you look at his career stats, he has 131 tackles, 20 tackles for loss, 27 quarterback hits, and 13 sacks. And his best year, y'all, which was in 2023, when he had 7.5 sacks and made his only Pro Bowl, was with Robert Saleh. So he's had a lot of success playing in this defense, right? Him and Robert Saleh have a very good relationship, have very good chemistry with one another, and Jermaine Johnson fits the style of edge rushers that Robert Saleh likes, right? He has great length, athleticism, speed. He does a tremendous ability in terms of bending the corner. And y'all, he's just one of those guys that can beat you one-on-one with his speed and athleticism. And so again, he's a tremendous fit in this defense. I expect him to have a very productive season. And here's the thing, I know a lot of Titans fans out there are saying, well, last season he only had 3 sacks. But here's the thing, y'all, he was coming back from an Achilles injury. And as we all know, okay, the first year after you come back from an Achilles injury, you're not going to immediately return to form. But by that second year, y'all, you should definitely return to form and start to look like the player that you once were. And this is going to be year 2 since he's been removed from his Achilles injury, y'all, which means I expect him to get back to that level of play that he had in 2023, where he had established himself as one of the best young edge rushers in the NFL. And I just like this trade, y'all, because not only is he a good player, but he's only 27 years old. Now he only, has one more year left on his contract, so it's going to be interesting to see if the Titans are going to sign him to a long-term deal or if they're going to just let him play this season out. But either way, y'all, this is a tremendous addition for the Titans. Now, this should not prevent us from drafting the edge rusher with the 4th pick, y'all, because we still have a massive need at edge rusher. Again, Jermaine Johnson is a good player, but outside of him, we still don't have a lot of proven guys on this roster. Femi Oladejo, he's entering his 2nd year. We know he didn't play a lot last season due to an injury, so he's unproven, y'all. Jalen Harrell, who had a really solid end to his season. He's a solid rotational pass rusher, but he's not a guy that you can, that you should count on to get you consistent production, off the edge, y'all. So to me, edge is still a big need. Yes, getting Jermaine Johnson, it kind of makes us better at the edge rusher spot, but it's not like all of a sudden, y'all, we have one of the best edge rush groups in the NFL because we have Jermaine Johnson. No, he is going to help us, but we still need to add more. We know Robert Saleh loves depth on his defensive line, so we desperately need to add more talent and depth to our defensive line. But this was a really good trade for Mike Borgonzi and the Titans, y'all. And the fact that we didn't have to give up any draft capital in this trade was great because we know last year the San Francisco 49ers were very interested in Jermaine Johnson, and the Jets, were asking for a 2nd or 3rd round pick from the 49ers. So luckily, y'all, we didn't have to get rid of any draft capital. All we had to do was part ways with T'Vondre Sweat. And ultimately, y'all, I think this is a win-win trade for both teams. I think T'Vondre Sweat is exactly what the Jets need. A really good run stuffing, a nose tackle, and then Jermaine Johnson is exactly what the Titans need. A good edge rusher who has the length, speed, and athleticism that Robert Saleh values on his defensive line, y'all. So I expect Jermaine Johnson to have a really good year for us, and hopefully he can be in that two-tone blue for years to come. So there you have it, man. This is me reacting to the Tennessee Titans trading T'Vondre Sweat to the New York Jets for Jermaine Johnson, and why I think this trade is going to play out well for both teams. Remember, y'all, laughter is good medicine, so what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm going to end it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.